All right, guys, today we're going to add, subtract, and multiply polynomials, all of those things. First one just says add, and addition, we're just going to add straight across. You're looking for like terms, and you've done this before, just kind of adding like terms. They have to have the same variable and the same exponent, so I'm going to add the 2x cubed and the 1x cubed. Give me 3x cubed. I'm going to add the negative 5x squared and the positive 6x squared. That would be a positive 1x squared. Going to add the positive 3x to nothing, so I'm just going to bring it straight down. Positive, I don't mean to change colors there, plus 3x. And lastly, I have the negative 9 and the positive 11, which will give me a positive 2. And I've added all my like terms, can't combine anything else, so that's all there is to that, no big deal. Subtraction, maybe one step deeper, depending on how you want to do these. What I like to do a lot of times is apply the minus sign on my second parentheses. Like the minus sign changes the sign of everything inside, so it makes the 3 become negative 3, makes the 2 become negative 2, it makes the negative x become positive x, and the negative 7 become positive 7. Now I'm going to look for what I can combine. So I have those two, which is going to give me a 5x cubed. I have the x squared, which will give me a negative 3x squared because they're both negative. I have the negative 5x and the 1x, which is negative 4x. And lastly, I have the positive 1 and the positive 7, which is positive 8. And there you go. Okay, let's get the good stuff. Multiplication. Don't forget your exponent rules. When you multiply, you add the exponents. So in this first one, because this is called a binomial times a trinomial, I'm going to take the y right here and I'm going to distribute it all the way across, taking the y through. So when I do that, if I do y times negative 2y squared, I get negative 2y cubed. Y times 3y is 3y squared, and then I have a negative 6y. All right, now I'm going to take the negative 2 through. So we get positive 4y squared minus 6y plus 12. And then I'm looking for stuff I can add together. There's nothing to add with the negative 2y cubed. I have a 3y squared and a 4y squared. That's 7y squared. I have a negative 12y when you add the two negative 6y's, and I have a positive 12. And again, there you go. Let's do a little review real quick. If you're looking at that one, my degree is 3. My leading coefficient is negative 2 because it's odd and negative. The left side would go up. The right side would go down. All right, multiply again. This is a weird one. It's got 3 of them. There's no big secret to multiplying 3. There's no shortcut, no FOIL method, anything like that. You just kind of got to take 2 at a time. So I'm going to take these two and do FOIL. I would get x squared minus or plus 1x minus 5x minus 5. And I still have this x plus 3. I'm not going to do the x plus 3 yet. I need to combine the x's in this parentheses. So I have x squared minus 4x minus 5 times x plus 3. Now I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to take this x right here, and I'm going to distribute it all the way across, which gives me x cubed minus 4x squared minus 5x. Then I'm going to take the positive 3 and do the same thing. That would give me a 3x squared. That's a square. My 2's aren't doing too good. Minus 12x and a minus 15. And then look for stuff you can combine. I've got the x cubed. I've got a minus 1x squared, negative 17x, and a minus 15. And again, as far as you can go, a lot of multiplication. All right, this is about my favorite chart ever. If I could drill this stuff into your brain and pour it in there, I would. I'm going to be talking about these a lot and doing these a lot because they're so quick. And if you learn these patterns, it saves you so much time. If you have these two types of things, like sum and difference, also called conjugates sometimes, all you do is you square the first one, square the second one, and subtract. If I see x plus 4x minus 4, again, x squared minus 16. And tomorrow I'm going to show you that's really just, you just do FL, you just do foo, first last, instead of all of FOIL, when you have a sum and a difference in the same numbers in your parentheses. If you square a binomial, there's a pattern for that, or even if it's a minus sign, you square the first one, you multiply them together and double, you square the second one. You square the first one, multiply together, double, and you square the second one. We'll have a gesture for that tomorrow. You'll be excited about that. And there's a couple of examples. You know, that's y plus 3. You square the y, you multiply the 3 and the y together, and you double it, then you square the 3. That's all you do, no matter what the binomial is. Now, when you cube something a little bit tougher, you cube the first number, you square the first, multiply by the second, multiply by 3. Then you square the second, multiply by the first, multiply by 3, then you have a b cubed. Same thing with the minus, exact same pattern. There it is worked out. Again, cube the x, square the first one, make it x squared, multiply by the second one, which is 2, and multiply by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. This one, square the second one, which is 4, multiply by the first one, which is x, and multiply by 3, which would be 12x. And then the last term, you would cube the 2, which would be 8, which would just be 8. So that's a little more complicated. Let's try a couple here. All right, real quick, because these are fast if you know the pattern. What I see here, that's a sum and difference or conjugates. So you just do first, last. If you do the first one, you get 9t squared. If I multiply the second two, negative 4 times positive 4, it's negative 16. It's that quick. The second one is a binomial squared. So I'm going to square the first one, which is 64x squared. I'm going to multiply these together, which is negative 24x, and I'm going to double it, negative 48x. Then I'm going to take the 3 and square it, and I get plus 9. It's so quick. Not any work if you know the patterns. That's why I wish you would just dedicate yourself to learn these patterns. Last one's not quite as easy. X minus y to the fourth. So you're going to cube the first term, which is x cubed, y cubed. Those are cubed. My marker. Goodness. Okay. Then you're going to square the first one, which is x squared, y squared. You're going to multiply by the second one, which is a negative 4, and you're going to multiply that by 3. So I'm going to put a 3 right here. Then the same pattern. I'm going to square the second one, which is negative 4 squared. Multiply that times the first one and multiply it times 3. And then the last term, I'm going to get just negative 4 to the third power. Then you got to work that out. So it takes 2 lines, x cubed, y cubed. Here you can do the negative 4 times the 3 is negative. I should have written this sign yet. Let me erase that real quick. It's going to be minus 12x squared y squared. Negative 4 squared is 16. 16 times 3 is 48 xy. And then if you do negative 4 to the third power, you get negative 64. And there's your answer to that one. That's not a whole lot quicker. I mean, it is quicker, but it's not a whole lot quicker than writing out 3 times, just multiplying it all out. But it is a little bit quicker. And later in the year, I'm going to show you even a quicker way to do it than that. So anyway, hope that wasn't too bad. A lot of adding, a lot of subtracting, and a whole lot of multiplying. And those special products, oh my gosh, I hope you can pick those up because it'll save you tons of time. See you tomorrow.